Welcome. You're joining in for a yin yoga practice where we'll be focusing on releasing the upper body. Today's practice, you will need one bolster. If you don't have a bolster, you could use a rolled up blanket or cushion. We'll get started in a seated meditation. So, if you'd like to grab some height underneath your seat so that the hips get a little bit higher than the knees, find a comfortable seat here, rooting down through your sit bones. Bring your hands to rest on your thighs and gently close the eyes. Take a deep breath in with me, in through the nose. Exhale it out the mouth. Allow the body to settle, get grounded. Checking in with the physical body, simply observing what's coming up in this moment. Let's connect with the breath, and if you're familiar with it, we'll begin a Ujjayi breath. Now, the Ujjayi breath is a restriction in the back of the throat. So, if you could imagine fogging up a mirror, making that sound, but while keeping your mouth closed, allowing those exhales to become a little bit longer, more droned out. And we begin to tap into calming the nervous system, tapping into our parasympathetic rest digest. We'll begin to invite movement in through the neck as we drop the right ear down towards the right shoulder, just going about 50% of your range of motion, so not pushing it too far. Allowing that left shoulder to drop down and get heavy. Take a full belly breath in. And as you exhale, allow your chin to drop down towards the center of your chest, stretching through the back of the neck, keeping your shoulders depressing down, chest lifted. Inhale. We'll exhale and roll that right ear back to the right shoulder and then come up through center. Let's go to the other side, gently dropping left ear down towards the left shoulder. Once again, I'm going about half of your range of motion. Settle into the shoulders, relaxing your weight down. You could imagine someone was behind you and they just gently put their hands on your shoulders. Take an inhale here. Gently drop your chin to the center of your chest as you exhale. Inhale. Exhale, roll the left shoulder or ear towards your shoulder and come back up through center. We'll do a few neck rolls to increase that mobility. Then we'll start right ear to right shoulder, drop down through center and over to the left. Do that 2 more times, moving slowly, working through your full range of motion now. And when you come back up through center on that third time, switch going left ear to left shoulder. Third time around, come back up through center. Find a tall spine, breathe in, lengthen all the way up through the crown of the head. Exhale and settle down into your seat. We're going to move into our next pose, shifting into Gomukhasana. Taking the right arm up, reach it up towards the sky. Think about lifting, not from your shoulder, but from your side waist, your rib cage, lift up and out. Good. Bend into that elbow, reach for the mid back between the shoulder blades with your fingertips. Just take a moment here to think about really reaching that elbow up towards the sky. Keep your chin back so we're not jutting our chin way out from our body. Keeping alignment throughout the spine. You can take the left arm out to the side, shoulder height, thumb pointing down. Bend through that elbow and find this internal rotation of the shoulder. Good. Sliding that arm up. See if fingers can touch. It's okay if they don't. Continue to lift the right elbow up towards the sky. Draw the rib cage down. Slide the left fingers up the back. Maybe the fingers can come together, lash onto one another. So there's a little bit of a yang property here as we're doing a little bit of work to hold the pose. Balance that out by softening into it. Relax the shoulders. Relax the face. Inhale, feel the expansion move throughout your rib cage to the front, back, sides, filling with air. And as you exhale, try to reach that right elbow up a little bit further towards the ceiling. Keep lifting up and out of your chest. Chin is level with the floor. And stay here for 2 more breaths. On your next exhale, gently release if your hands are together. Start by releasing the bottom arm and then the top arm. Just let your hands settle onto your thighs, close the eyes, and observe whatever sensations arise. You may feel an increased rush of blood flow into the shoulder joints throughout the arms, delivering nutrients to our joints. Take an inhale here. Let that go. Move to the other side. Start by lifting the left arm up towards the sky. Thinking about that side waist, reaching up and out of there, stretching through the intercostal muscles. And then bend that elbow and reach your hand between your shoulder blades. Just working here on creating length through that tricep, reaching the elbow up towards the sky. Let's join the other arm, reaching the right arm out to the side, thumb pointing down. Looking for that internal rotation in the shoulder as we bend the elbow, glide the back of the hand up the middle of your back. And you might notice one side is a little bit different than the other. This side's always a little bit more rigid and tight for myself. Inhale, lift the chest. Exhale, sit the rib cage back and down. Reach the left elbow up. Slide those right fingers up a little bit further. Maybe the fingers can come together and clamp on. Keep your chin slightly lifted and close the eyes here. Focus on the space between the eyebrows, the third eye, ajna. Settle into the pose. Taking 2 more breaths here. Breathe all the way up through the crown of the head. Exhale. Good. One more breath. Slowly releasing your bottom arm first, and then your top arm. This time, let's turn the palms up to face the sky. Roll the shoulders back and down, and simply close the eyes. Observe the sensations that are arising. Moving into our next pose, we're going to come into a supported puppy pose or melting heart. Taking the bolster, top of your mat. So the bolster is going to be placed where our chest will lie. Hands will walk in front of the bolster, and then we'll walk the knees back. All right, drop the chest down towards that bolster. Begin to walk your hands forward. Want to sit the hips back. I'm just making micro adjustments here because I want the hips to be directly over the knees. Allow my rib cage and my chest to be supported as I walk my fingers as far forward as I can, feeling that elongation through the arm bones. And then relax the head down. Keep tilting your tailbone up towards the sky, feeling a little bit of that anterior pelvic tilt, lifting through the pelvic floor. Really melting your heart down into the bolster. See if you can crawl your fingers up even just a couple millimeters more. Spend about 30 more seconds here. Really allow your body to dissolve down into the mat, surrendering completely. And when you're ready to come out, slide the hands back, gently press yourself onto all fours. Very good. So we'll create a rebound pose here. Move the bolster up the mat and move into child's pose just for a few breaths. Press into the palms of the hands. So next we're gonna come to lay on our side. Grab a hold of the bolster and let's start by laying on the right side, knees bent, and the bolster is going to lay underneath your rib cage. You can use your bottom arm here as a pillow for support. And then we're going to take that top arm up towards the sky. We're going to straighten the bottom leg and keep the top leg bent. Get a little bit of that hip stretch as well. If that's too much, you can keep both legs bent. So inhale and reach that top arm up out of your shoulder and then begin to reach it past your head, bicep along your ear, creating that nice long line from your hip all the way through to your fingertips. Start to explore what it feels like to breathe deeper into that side body. If you find you want to go a little bit deeper, you could bring the bottom arm out in front and stretch your neck down onto the mat. Just playing with the visualization here, imagining your breath expanding into that rib cage, and every little joint, ligament, bone is expanding outward. And then as you exhale, recoiling back in. Full, expansive inhale to stretch out the tissues. And exhale, soften down. Continue with that visualization, creating space throughout your rib cage. Preparing to break the pose, taking that left arm, bringing it closer to you, and using it to gently press yourself back up. Sliding the right arm underneath you. And we'll make our transition over to the other side. Start with those knees bent. Place that bolster right underneath your rib cage. Bottom arm is your pillow. And once you get there, take that top arm up towards the ceiling. Let it rest there for a moment. Bottom leg straightens out. And top knee will rest down. Okay, take a deep inhale and reach that right arm up out of the shoulder, create length. And then reach it up past your head, bicep beside your ear. Make any fine-tuning adjustments to really get yourself a little bit more comfortable, and then find your stillness. We'll spend about a few minutes here. Ideally, I want you to continue focusing on the breath, focusing on the expansion of those tissues we talked about, breathing deep into the rib cage and visualizing that expansion of your ligaments, your tendons, your bones. You want to take it further, that bottom arm reaches out in front of you, resting your head onto the mat. Finish up here with 3 more breaths. Begin to slide that right hand close to you, using it to press yourself back up. Moving gently here as we break the pose. So next we're going to do a different variation of child's pose. where we want to have some support between our knees. So I'm going to take the bolster and tuck it in underneath my hips, over my calves. Ooh, always it feels so good to sit on it. That's not where we're going. We're going to bring our chest down, and we're going to cross our arms over. So taking and threading that right arm under, and then threading the left arm. Cross your shoulders, and then drop your forehead down. Really allow those hips to get heavy, sinking down towards the heels, being supported by the bolster. That bolster really is just there to create a little bit more space for us. It should feel like a really nice opening into the back of the shoulders, deltoids. Once again, make any fine-tuning adjustments. Bring yourself to your edge where you're not really forcing anything, you're just softening into it. And then come into stillness. Settle into the pose. Listening in to what the body needs here. Before we switch over to the other side, take a couple deep breaths. Very gently unwinding the arms. Bring the hands underneath the shoulders to press yourself up. Take a breath in. Let that settle. Good. Let's start by sliding the left arm under, right arm over, switching sides. Bow the forehead down to the mat. And cross those biceps as close together as you can, and let the shoulders sink down. This is a really great place to stimulate the abdominal organs by increasing that breath, that inhale, pressing your belly into your thighs, creating a little bit of pressure there. And then as you exhale, recoil the abdominal back in, belly button to spine. Keep continuing with that breath, full expansive inhale, pressing the belly into the thighs. And exhaling to pull everything back in. We're gonna slowly make our way out of the pose. Gently uncross the arms, hands under the shoulders to press yourself back up. Take an inhale here. Exhale. Maybe just sitting back onto the heels for a moment. Close the eyes. Good. We're going to finish off with one of my favorite poses, Supta Konasana, using the bolster underneath our spines. Bring that bolster lengthwise on the mat and then take a seat right in front of it. Join the soles of the feet together, knees out to the side. Hands come beside your hip and just slowly begin to roll your spine down onto the bolster. Settle into the space. And then we'll find a place for our arms, somewhere that feels really juicy and beautiful. Chest, heart opener. So it might feel good to have your hands down by your side, maybe coming up to shoulder height, maybe overhead. Find that happy place for you and settle into that. Find stillness as you close the eyes. If your hands, arms start to become tingly or numb, just bring them down a little bit lower. Right? You might just be pressing down onto a nerve, so find a new height that feels perfect for you. Explore what that feels like to breathe all the way into the front side of the body, expanding belly, rib cage, chest. And with every exhale, melt the shoulders down into the support of the bolster. Relaxing all the muscles of the face, smoothing out across your forehead, space between your eyebrows. Letting go of any tension you might be holding on to in the eyes. Relaxing your cheeks, your jaw, lightly resting the tip of your tongue on the roof of your mouth, teeth separating. Letting go of any tension that's holding on in the neck, the shoulders. Just let that go. Send your breath into your heart center, the center of your chest. Feel gentle expansion. Let the arms get really heavy here, feeling the weight of your biceps, forearms, wrists. Just observing the thumbs, the index finger, middle finger, ring finger, and pinky. Move your awareness to your back. Can your shoulders become 1% more heavier, sinking, resting down, relaxing your mid back and your low back. Feel that support. And then move your awareness down into your hips. Letting go of any holding or tension. Softening the front of the hips, the glutes, inner thighs. Just feeling the weight of your legs as gravity pulls your knees down. Relaxing down through your calves, your ankles, the arches of the feet. Flowing your awareness down through your big toes, second toe, third toe, fourth toe, and pinky. Just spending about 3 to 5 more breaths here in this pose. When you're ready to come out, we're just gonna start by bringing the knees gently back together, planting the feet onto the mat, very gently taking your time, optionally to roll over onto your side or gently sit yourself up. Take time as you transition into a seated pose, maybe adding a little bit of height underneath your seat. Resting your hands on your thighs, rolling the shoulders back and down, lifting from your heart. Just taking a few moments here to check in with how your physical body is feeling. Is there any noticeable changes from when we first started the practice today? We did a lot of deep stretching through the upper body and shoulders. You may find today that you're feeling a little bit more open, maybe standing a little bit taller. Bring your hands to your heart center, gently bow your chin down. I want to say thank you so much for joining in this practice with me today. I'm honored to guide you through your practice, and the light in me honors and sees the light within you. Namaste.